Hey YouTubers, I'm Jacob. This is a how-to video for diagnosing four-wheel drive vacuum issues on an F-150. This can be related to other Ford vehicles as well, like the Expedition and the Explorer. The main tool you're going to need today is a vacuum pump, but I'll show you some ways that you can quickly diagnose and see if you've got some issues with either your check valve or your solenoid, and then moving on to the actuators down at the axles. I've included the links to the parts and tools I'm using in the description below, so make sure to click on those and check them out. If you don't have time to really diagnose this, but you want to keep your gears, prevent them from grinding and meshing, the best way is to basically just force it into four-wheel drive. So what I would do, you could disconnect your supply line, and this is coming from the engine, comes off of this tap here, it goes to the brake booster, comes up, hits the first check valve. So this could be one part that's gone bad, and this is one piece. And the solenoid is what receives the electronic message of putting it into four-wheel drive here, and what it does is it shuts off the vacuum pressure to the actuators, which the actuators need pressure to disengage from four-wheel drive. So when they don't have pressure is when they go into four-wheel drive. So it's kind of a fail-safe. If the system were to fail and you're in a situation where you needed four-wheel drive, it kind of forces you into four-wheel drive, but it's also bad for driving around on pavement. These are actually new parts here, but I think the originals were okay, so I'm going to swap back to them. I took off the top line here, which this is what feeds it to the actuators. And I'm going to start the truck. I'll leave it in two-wheel drive, and hopefully we'll feel here to see if we're getting vacuum pressure coming off of the solenoid. If we're not getting anything off the solenoid, it could be the solenoid. We're going to switch it from two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive. If we still get vacuum, then it's the solenoid. If it turns off, it's not the solenoid. And we need to use the vacuum pump to test from here down to the actuators. Okay, I feel pressure on it. It's sucking it in. All right, I put it in four-wheel drive. No vacuum. All right, so shut it off.
The solenoid and check valve checked out good. Now I'm removing the vacuum lines from both actuators and plugging them with vacuum plugs to test for cracks. Remove the upper vacuum line off the solenoid to pressure test the lines with a vacuum pump.
All right, I'm right on it. I'm gonna leave it for 2 minutes. Okay, so just after 2 minutes time, we've almost dropped 5 inch-pounds. Definitely losing pressure in the line. There's a crack somewhere.
If your lines checked out good, or you've already replaced them and still have problems, try this next step. With the truck in park, two-wheel drive, with the parking brake on, try manually spinning your front drive shaft. If it spins freely while in two-wheel drive and locks up in four-wheel drive, your transfer case and shift motor are working properly. With the truck in two-wheel drive, you might notice one of your CVs spinning along with the drive shaft. Try spinning them to see if they spin free. If they do, that actuator is good and not engaged in four-wheel drive. If you can't spin it at all, that's a clear sign that your actuator is engaged or locked up in four-wheel drive.
Do not turn it. It's got to be on this side. Should be locked out now, and I shouldn't be able to turn it. Alright, I'm still having trouble with this one. Just by turning the drive shafts, I was able to find out that this one seems to be locked out still. So even though I've replaced all the lines and the actuator, I'm going to do a pressure test here. This could just be a bad actuator, or maybe it was damaged during install. And I've configured a cover for this out of some of the old tubing so that I can connect to it. Alright, let's pump it up. I'm going to do 25 inch kilograms, or HG. We'll let it sit for 2 minutes and come back to it.
This actuator is clearly losing pressure. If you have a GoPro, you can take your vehicle for a test drive and see if the front drive shaft and CVs are spinning. Even when the truck is in two-wheel drive, this is caused by one locked up actuator and will cause drag and reduce fuel economy even though the four-wheel drive is not engaged at the transfer case. You might notice a loud whine or hum when driving at certain speeds, and you might even feel a little bit of whine and hum at your feet.
Hey guys, I want to show you what it looks like when you have a locked up hub. I just took this CV out of the actuator, and you can actually see the gears are stuck in four-wheel drive. So this was a defective part that I'm having to replace. Something to look out for. I've heard that if you put too much grease in there too, it can also jam it up. So you just want to stick with the factory grease that comes with the new actuators. This is what it looks like. Okay, so it's kind of hard to tell on the camera here. So you can see that the gears are engaged down there. Truck's in two-wheel drive. I haven't been able to get it out of four-wheel drive on this side.
When I removed this actuator, it came out in two pieces. The plastic diaphragm was completely broken with the gears locked up in four-wheel drive. I seated the actuator on the CV to make sure the gears lined up before inserting the CV into the knuckle. This makes it easier to insert the CV into the knuckle and prevents damage to the actuator during install.
I've included the products and tools I've used in the description below, so make sure to click on those and check them out. Thank you for watching my how-to video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash down the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content. Thanks for watching.